So this week, unfortunately, we are not going to be getting much done on the property. Instead, life threw us something that makes building seem pretty small in comparison. Our daughter was born with a pretty serious medical condition, and recently her neurosurgeon has asked us to come up to Boston Children's Hospital to get a diagnostic angiogram done, which is a procedure that does have some risk, but the real concern is there's a chance that she could need brain surgery.
After this, our lives go in two very different directions.
So this week we're traveling north for that procedure, and what the doctors find could change everything for us.
Some of the structures look a little bit concerning.
Ugh, I'm gonna throw up and cry at the same time.
Oh. But before we leave, there is one small but urgent project that I am gonna just tackle before we head out of here. This is the rest of the wood that I never picked up from the lumber mill. So you might remember that we worked with Scott Dehart and his brother Chad, who did our septic system, on milling that really large white pine that we cut just right over here. And a couple weeks ago, I picked up half of that lumber, and it was so much lumber that my truck needed to do it in 2 trips. Well, right after that, I sprained my ankle and I wasn't able to pick up the rest of it. And so this is the rest of it, but it is moldy, or I don't know, mildewy, or whatever you call it. It's all black, and I think before we use it, we're going to have to resurface it, like run it through a planer. And this happened because the way they stacked it, they thought I was just gonna pick it up like the next day. And so with all the rain and everything and it just sitting outside on top of each other, it ended up getting mildewy. So I need to stack it properly over here using sticks, like small little slats that give airflow around the wood. And so I actually, first thing, need to cut a bunch of those sticks. This is the first batch of wood that I put out here, and it's looking pretty good. It's certainly less wet than when I picked it up. And the trick is we just put these sticks, and they're just 3/4 inch thick sticks, in between each layer of wood so that air can circulate throughout the whole thing. And we literally just like put something on top of it so that rain doesn't get to it. And that's how it works. So I've got a little bit more room on this top layer, so I'm gonna start bringing some of this down. Ugh, these boards are so huge. So the idea with these larger pieces that have a live edge is we want to build like a dining table out of it, put a couple of them together, and then the edges will be the actual like outer edge of the tree. So I think it'll be very beautiful, but now that we got this mold, we're gonna add some work to the project eventually where we'll have to use a planer and like skim off the surface. But it'll be a project for down the road. So I'm a little ashamed to say that I haven't seen a doctor in years. Now, a lot of that is because we were traveling for a long time, and so constantly being on the move made it difficult. But now that we're stationary, I have still been resisting making that appointment. Mostly because finding a doctor feels like a huge chore, like finding one that's in network, that's relatively close by, that won't make me stay on hold for like 30 minutes just to make the appointment. And so it's just always felt easier to just not deal with it. Now that all changed when I recently started using the sponsor of today's episode, ZocDoc, and now scheduling an appointment with the doctor just doesn't feel like a chore anymore. ZocDoc is a free website that lets you search and compare high quality in-network doctors. You can read verified patient reviews and instantly book appointments online. You can even see real appointment openings, often within just a couple of days, and then lock in a visit with just a few clicks. So if you've been putting it off like I was, go to ZocDoc.com/Atticus or click the link in the description below to get that appointment checked off your list. So I'm not gonna be getting a whole lot done this week because we have some medical stuff with Isabella that we have to deal with. Isabella was born with a condition called FACE or Facies syndrome. Now there's a couple things going on with that, but the primary concern with her situation is that she doesn't have the normal vasculature that brings blood to her brain. Now, when we were going down this medical journey with her right after she was born, we did learn that it seemed that her brain was getting plenty of blood, and so that was good. But we needed to get a scan done, like an MRI, every year to make sure that the blood vessels that go to her brain and that are in her brain were growing and adapting as she grew correctly so that she wouldn't have any blood flow problems. Now, her last MRI that she got done, Isabella's pediatric neurosurgeon told us that he was concerned about some of the structures and the ways that they were forming inside of her brain. And when we got that news months ago, it was just utterly devastating.
Okay. Okay, Isa. Come here. You want to get a group hug? Little baby. Mommy's worried about you.
I thought we were in the clear for a little while, and so I just put her down for a nap, and then I just read the email and was just,
Yeah.
I'm just worried. Yeah, I have this like crazy thought sometimes that like she's such a good baby that's like too good to be true,
It's gonna work out just fine.
I hope so.
Now, there's a good chance that this abnormal blood vessel structure in her brain will turn out to be totally stable. So there is a good chance that she'll be fine for her entire life. But there is also a chance that it could not be fine. There's a chance that it's affecting the blood flow to the brain. There's a chance that those vessels could be weaker than they should be. And, there's a chance that she could need brain surgery, right? Now, that chance is relatively low, but it's real. And so that's what we're going up to Boston to find out. We need to get a diagnostic angiogram done where they actually stick a catheter up her blood vessels close to her brain. Now, this procedure does have a certain amount of risk, right? And so that's why we're traveling to Boston to do it, because they are some of the best people in the world at doing this kind of thing. So suffice to say, we're extremely nervous. This is something that we've been dreading the possibility of for a couple years now. And just a huge amount hinges on our experience in Boston. And so we're gonna get ready to leave first thing tomorrow morning and just cross our fingers and pray that everything turns out well.
Okay, did you double check?
No time. Let's go.
We are late, and we are driving to the Asheville airport.
All right, so I am at the Asheville airport and I am alone. Desiree and I got split up because our checked bag, we got here too late to check the bag at the counter, and so we had to go do it at the gate, but then going through security, their security machine wasn't large enough to accept that bag. So long story short, Desiree made it to the gate and made it on the plane, but I did not. But the main problem is I had Desiree's phone in my pocket. And so I was really not sure if I was gonna be able to get in touch with her, but luckily she just called me. She borrowed somebody's phone on the plane.
We just landed in Boston. I've got all the babies, all the bags.
So we're all good. I'm gonna meet her there, but man, what a freaking morning. Okay, buddy. Oh, I'm glad to see you. I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it.
Oh my God, I packed everything and like planned everything out to the minute. I'm like, we're gonna get there at noon. We're gonna have plenty of time, easy afternoon. Like none of that happened. Like we had to pick you up right at like bath time. They don't have crib set up. I didn't have my phone. I was just asking strangers to use their phones. I ripped my pants in the airport. Issa was losing it because she has been up since 4 and she skipped her nap. So I was going down like this to like console her, and I heard like, and I was like, oh my God. I'm just glad you made it.
Yeah. Walking up to the hospital that morning felt like a dream. We were terrified, handing our child over to doctors, knowing they're about to thread a catheter towards her brain. There's just no way to really prepare yourself for that. And even if it went smooth, we knew that by the end of the day, our lives could look very different.
So the nurses just gave Isabella some like happy medication orally to like calm her down before they actually give her the gas mask. So she's like a little loopy right now.
Yeah, she was glued to the tablet, and then she just stopped and was like, this balloon feels so good on my face. How are you feeling, buddy?
Ugh, like I'm gonna throw up and cry at the same time. I know it's like relatively low risk procedure, but every time this happens, I just get all nervous.
Yeah, I'm less nervous about the procedure and more nervous about what they're gonna say after.
Yeah.
It's like when she got her very first MRI, where it's like, after this, like, our lives go in two very different directions, you know?
We were told that the procedure should be over in just a couple hours, but sitting there and waiting were really some of the hardest hours that I can remember. With every minute that passed, every time someone's name was called, we just braced ourselves and hoped that it wouldn't be bad news.
Okay, so Isabella's scan is all done, and it's relatively good news. The doctor said that there's no need for immediate concern. One of our big worries was that they were going to basically take a look at the blood flow in the brain and decide that she was not getting enough flow to certain parts of the brain and that they'd need to do some kind of surgery. So they found that the blood flow all throughout the brain is totally fine. And some of the structures look a little bit concerning, like some of the way that the blood vessels are routed and the shapes that they make, but nothing is so concerning that they need to do anything about it right now. So with any luck, we're just going to keep doing MRIs every so often and nothing will really change and she'll be fine. So there's, a decent chance that that'll be it. So we'll see.
I'm relieved, but also, she's still not totally in the clear. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to be too relieved, but there's no point in worrying at the same time.
Well, I think we got to be grateful.
Yeah.
It could have been so much
I know.
worse
That's
today.
true. Yeah, that's true.
How do you feel, Isabella?
Yeah, she said, Doctor, ow!
Yeah. Oh, thank
That's
you.
nice.
So, Bud, how does it feel to be back?
It feels good. That was a crazy trip.
Yeah.
But also, I feel very relieved. I almost feel like I was like hit by a giant truck and like
Yeah.
was like running on like stress and anxiety and adrenaline for a little while, and like now I'm coming down from it. Did you like going to the doctor?
I don't want to.
Yeah, she doesn't want.
To go to my swing.
Yeah,
Yeah, you want to go to the
can
swing
your
instead of the
swing.
doctor.
Me too. I can't believe this is our little spot, Bud. Mm-hmm. Mommy is so happy that you're healthy. You're so special to Mommy and Daddy. We're very thankful.
You want Dad to bury your foot?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
forgot to make the hole.
Oh, yeah, we can't forget to make the hole. Isabella, where'd your feet go? Whoa!
Aren't you gonna
Wow. Can you climb on the hammock real quick?
It's so
Oh my
bad.
God.
This didn't work out.
There's so much crying.
I just keep thinking like there's this alternate path that we could be on right now that's just like devastating, I just feel so lucky.
Yeah.
I'm just like grateful. I don't really care how long this house takes to build. I'm just so grateful that we have their health right now.
Love you, buddy.
Love you.
I'm just like so freaking relieved. She's a little stinker, but she's our good little stinker, Isabella, we're talking about you. And you won't even come sit over here with us. And we're just talking about how much we love you.
Do you want help?
Are you gonna climb? Are you flirting with us? I've been trying to teach her how to flirt. I don't know if she's nailed it yet.
She's getting there. I wanted to take a quick minute to just chat with you guys about the state of the project on the land right now and kind of like where the episodes have been in the last couple of episodes. We haven't made a huge amount of progress for a couple weeks now. I have had a lot of personal stuff going on lately. Our trip to Boston and a lot of the like medical lead up to that trip took a huge amount of my time. I've had a lot of just other personal things that have taken me out of town, and I've had to travel a good amount lately. But also the amount of researching that I've had to do for a lot of these upcoming projects has been a lot more time intensive than I thought it would be. So like the design for the workshop / small house, that took me forever. And it was really difficult for me to actually get outside doing stuff for a good 2-week span there because I was just on the computer designing. And just in general, the whole process of going from research phase to figuring out what materials I need to getting those materials and then finally doing a project, those first 3 steps take way more time than I realized before I got into this whole land development and building thing. So I just wanted to be upfront that I've been struggling a little bit to actually make the kind of progress every single week that I want to make. Now, for the next couple months, I don't have nearly as much other stuff going on, and so I should be able to allocate way more time to these projects and to these episodes, which I'm glad about. But I just wanted to be honest and a bit vulnerable about this. I am really struggling to try to get these things done on my own. Now I'm doing them on my own because Desiree just has her hands completely full with Isabella and Scarlett. We're trying to get CO, Desiree's mom, to move up here so that she can help us out more, and she loves being with the girls. So CO, if you're watching this, we want you to move up here. You should do it. I think once we move up here to the property, that'll change. Desiree will be able to give me a hand from time to time, and the family will just be more a part of these videos, which I think would be huge, because I know that the girls and Desiree haven't been in the episodes as much as I would like. And I want this channel to be about our family's journey, developing this land and building our dream home. I'm hoping here in the next couple weeks, when we're able to finally move on to the land, that a lot of things are going to change. But I wanted to make sure that we were on the same page, that I'm having a difficult time making the kind of progress that I want to make. The mistakes that I make slow me down, the filming it slows me down, and just learning it and doing it all for the first time is a very slow process. So thank you for watching. Thank you for a lot of your guys' thoughts and prayers for Isabella. We're thrilled that she's doing well and that it looks like there's a good chance that she might not have any more issues going forward, fingers crossed. And otherwise, we will see you guys next week.
Does your throat hurt? No. Oh, good.
I don't do.
What?
I don't do.
She did do.
Oh, yeah.